Hi Scorpio, welcome to your October 2021 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. So I forgot that it was October 1st when I'm doing this. I'm so pumped that I get to wear shorts today on October 1st. And you have to understand where I live, how great that is, living in the Midwest or living outside of Chicago. It's like, it can be cold sometimes at this time of year already. So, well, October is the time when you have, when some of you are having your birthdays, the solar return, and so that the whole season kicks off. So, I have like a video for the astrology just by itself, so I'm not going to go too much into that here, but I just wanted to acknowledge that. So the heart of the matter is the Seven of Swords. I didn't know. Oh my gosh, you got this. You got the trifecta of getting screwed over here, Scorpio. Oh wow! But at least this is something you can put behind you. So the Seven of Swords is the heart of the matter, the focal point of this reading. And this can be like, how do I extricate myself from this situation? This can be a very important time for you because of something that has been going on. Because in the past position, we have the Five of Swords, and this can indicate that this deception with other people was uncovered. Now, remember that the past can be, it depends on your individual situation. You may, let's say you discovered probably the worst thing for you is finding out that your partner cheated, but maybe this happened a year ago and you are still reeling from it and you're still with that person. And I could see a Scorpio person. I've heard of people who find out that their partner is cheating and then they, like, because they know what's going on, they kind of say little things and they're just like kind of, it's like a cat toying with a mouse, They know everything. I don't see, what the joy is in doing that, but I know that some Scorpios might be like that. Maybe you hire a private investigator and then you have all the dirt on them, and it's almost like you're waiting for the time to unleash it all or what have you. Yeah, so the Seven of Swords can be strategizing from behind the scenes, like you're deciding how you're going to do this. I would say that sometimes you may not know who is doing it, like that kind of thing. Oh, and here's another thing. I don't know how many Scorpios would do such a thing, but let's say that you were involved in a lover's triangle and the person that you were with was involved with somebody else. And they left their partner for you. The Five of Swords can be empty victory. So it can be that, you get most of the swords, but you win the battle and you lose the war, because the war, you lose your morality. Not morality. I would just say it's not really anything to feel good about, because not talking about any kind of religious beliefs like it's wrong to cheat or anything like that. But it's the thing about cheating is there's a third party involved, just like as a basic human desire to not hurt other people. It hurts somebody else. You're getting what you want at the expense of somebody else's feelings. And some people also take pride in this sense of like, he chose me over her. That sense of like that sense of competing with someone. And that is a very empty victory, because it's not, first of all, you're with somebody who's a cheater, you know what I mean? So it can get kind of convoluted. But here's the higher message, is the Magician card. And this is that you are the person who is in charge of your own life. As the magician, you're a conscious co-creator. You want to be a conscious co-creator. We're creating, this could be creating drama. The swords can be connected with drama. And it's like, that's not what you want from life. That's kind of like, drama to me is the byproduct of trauma. It's almost like wanting to create those chaotic circumstances so that you can feel something that is familiar to you when you have stopped feeling. Remember that you're a water sign, so feeling is very important to you. And if you settle for the lower emotions in life and generating lower emotions like an energy vampire, that's not going to get you where you want to be. And this is something that Scorpio has to be especially careful about, because there is a very good chance that you may have come from a past where you might have been manipulated, you may have been traumatized, and so you have to not re-traumatize it yourself or relive what happened to you. And I was even thinking about this today, like I love to debate, and I was thinking, is that really, first of all, is that good? Does it make me feel peaceful? Does it make me feel, or is it something from the past, like having a lot of arguments in life or witnessing them, being a part of them, and do I really want to keep that vibration alive? And these are the kinds of things where you can catch yourself and these behaviors that you might consider to be relatively innocent and say, wow, I'm really kind of reliving this. And the magician is about creating your own reality. You do, whether you know it or not, but you want to be a conscious co-creator so that you're not just living out old patterns and the drama. And sometimes people have seen their parents in these dramatic situations, and they unconsciously are recreating them as well. What crosses you is the Ten of Swords. This is a card of betrayal. In the challenge position, this may be not being able to accept a betrayal. Somehow it really damaging you to the point where it's hard to move on. And the thing about this is like, I'm not saying like if somebody apologizes to you that they cheated on you, they could be sincere. And sometimes people will not forgive somebody for cheating, and it's a wise decision because that person is just saying it because they got caught. There's not one thing. And some Scorpios are like totally unforgiving because a lot of Scorpios have forgiveness issues to work on. And it's because there's an erroneous understanding of what forgiveness is. And I'm not going to get into it here, but the bottom line is that it can keep you a captive of the past. And it also is not looking at things from the bigger perspective. If you happen to not pick the right person and they cheated on you, then be grateful to God that you are not in that situation, because that you can get away from that situation. Because, however it came about, even if that person left you for another person, you're rid of somebody who's not faithful. But unfortunately, some people take that as some kind of an indictment against themselves, and they think, I'm not good enough, and they feel that sting of rejection from betrayal. And this also can be something with workplace. And Scorpio, you may find yourself in life in situations where it seems like you're always getting into these competitive and clandestine situations where people are doing things kind of like in that movie, if you saw that movie Black Swan, where they were like doing sneaky things to trip the other person up for ballet, that kind of thing, where they're just like, that kind of thing can happen in all areas of life. And you may be tempted to say, oh my gosh, these people are always screwing me over. But there might be something within yourself. Like when I look at somebody's astrological chart and I see they have Pluto, which is one of your rulers, along with, or Mars, in the 6th house, that person, and or Mars, I should say, that person can be very competitive in the workplace. And that can make the coworkers feel resentful because they feel like this person's after their job, like they're trying to make them look bad by trying to be, you know how like you work someplace and somebody, they leave after you, like if there's a time when everybody's supposed to leave the office or the store or wherever you're working, and they stay late and they're just like trying to look like they're better than the other people. That can be a form of, you know, being such a ambitious person that you want to show everybody else up, and that doesn't endear a person to others. Other people aren't like, oh wow, isn't this person great? They're like, you know, they're not impressed by that type of behavior. So look at how you interact when you're attracting things in life, because the more you can see your hand in it, or you can see a vibe that you're putting out, the better off you will be. But this can simply be that you're actually improving in your life, but you will, you know, because you refuse to let go of a relationship or a situation, that you're keeping it alive. Because number 10 can be the end of something. This, in the upright position, 10 of Swords can be that the worst is over. But if you won't allow the worst to be over, then what's going to happen? Okay, what is coming in? It's the Ace of Wands. And so this is new energy being breathed in. Now, of course, you are having your new moon. You're in the first week of November. Things will get better astrologically as we get into the end of October, because the sun is in the 12th house when it's in the sign of Libra. And so the 12th house is the karmic baggage. It's all of this, you know, that's kind of like what the 10 of Swords means to me, kind of the old cycle of suffering ending and a new cycle, the solar cycle, which is associated with so much positivity, which is associated with rebirth, beginning, and new ventures. If you are working at this time, you may decide to start your own business. There's a nice little window of time in November to do those things, to promote your new projects. And it's very creative. It's very much self-generated. Your baby, not somebody else's ideas, but your own. 7 of Swords can be somebody stealing your ideas. So let's say you work in an advertising agency and somebody's always coming up with these great ideas that actually belong to you and taking credit for them or something like that. And you're saying, hey, I'm brilliant. I can do this on my own. I don't need these other people to come and take what I've, you know, what comes naturally to me. And the outcome is the Justice card. So what is the right thing? You know, karmic justice, right? If somebody has done wrong against you, you don't need to get even. The universe will get even. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I always hear people talking about they hope, you know, all these bad things happen to people who do all these things. They're, you know, some of them are very bad things. Instead of thinking, I hope that person finds enlightenment. I hope that person is able to understand why they're doing something that's wrong. And they, they don't seem to be able to look at things from a higher perspective, because that's ultimately what it is. This is, oh, you know what it just came to me? That idea of, well, you could say, don't get mad, get even. No, that's not what I meant. The best revenge is a life well lived. I think that's what I'm going to call this video, because if somebody's done something to you and you are in a negative vibration and you can't, you can't get over it and you can't move on, that is a sign of allowing them to win, really. So if you really feel that thing of like, they have to get theirs, do it by being happy, do it by, being free. And that's really what forgiveness is. It's like, yeah, sure, see you later, have a nice life, and I forgive you. And I'm not going to talk about you all the time to everybody and complain about what a terrible person you are and all the terrible things that you did to me, because then you're still in my head, and you're still front and center in my life, and I don't want you to be. So the Ace of Wands is really about enthusiastic new beginnings, and that takes you away from all of that negativity. So anyway, I hope that happens for you if that resonates. So that's what I have for you. I hope that this did resonate. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.